It's crazy to think that it's already been a month, but ultimately I think the transition it's been challenging in the sense of like, I didn't want to transition back into my day-to-day. I had so much fun on the rally and hanging out with everybody. We were out there just having a great time, driving our cars, doing what we all love to do, and to kind of go from that into my normal like day-to-day, going to work every day kind of thing. It's been a motivating experience, I think, because it makes me just want to be able to do more and be able to accomplish more. That way I can maybe bring something faster and better along for next year. Yeah, the transition's been somewhat difficult, but more than anything, it's been motivating for me. So yeah, it's gonna come down basically. I'm crashing. My high points? I think the day I had the most fun was the day of the Tail of the Dragon. When we did that, that was so much fun. Just driving through all those curves, and this thing especially, it handled it like a dream. I was able to attack those corners super quickly, and I guess there was one point where the guys from Apex, they were following me, and Kevin, he said in one of those turns, I guess one of my back wheels came up, and he felt like he was watching Ken block, which that's gonna stick with me forever, because without him I wouldn't have this car. He's a huge inspiration for all of it. I even got his signature wheels on it. So yeah, that's gonna stick with me forever. But the Tail of the Dragon for sure, when we were all just in line, like 60 of us, I think, 50 or 60 of us at one point, just going through all of it, driving through the mountains. It was so much fun. It made me feel like I was definitely a part of something big, and that was enough for me to just fall in love with all of it. And I plan to go back at some point and just to be able to drive that again. It was so much fun. My low point? Oh man, I think it was right after the Tail of the Dragon. So after the Tail, we were supposed to go to this gas station and just fuel up, and I didn't really realize how important that stop actually was, but the gas station ended up being shut down anyway. But we were supposed to do the Tail, and then directly after that was the Skyway, and the Skyway happened to be a lot longer to drive. There's a point where John in the white R8, he came over the radio saying he had 100 miles of range left. How much longer is this supposed to last? I had 20 miles of range at that point, and I was panicking. You can ask my co-pilot, he thinks I was overreacting, but by the time I got to a gas station, I had 4 miles of range left, and I can't believe we made it. At one point, I actually ended up going in the grass, driving around somebody just to keep the momentum forward, and I didn't want to have to stop. There were points where I was going down the hills in neutral just to save whatever little bit I could, because I was scared, to say the least. So I think my panic was justified. But I mean, without bad times, you can't have good stories. Track day was fun. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous because I'd never been on a track before, other than as a passenger one other time, like, gosh, I want to say maybe 6 years ago. It just happened to be in an RS, which was cool. But I was nervous. I was in the beginners group, so it was the pace car or lead car, whatever you want to call it, Kyle in the blue Supra, and then me behind him. After he left, Kyle just kind of took off, which good on him. He handled that car great. And I was trying to keep up, but in turn 10, I believe it was, it's like it goes down and into a sharp turn. I went in a little too hot and ended up getting my back end into the sand, which it scared me a bit, but I recovered and just continued doing my laps as normal. I didn't see anybody flag me, and those flag stations were kind of hard to see. as soon as I pitted though, the marshal came up to me kind of mad, asking why I didn't pit and what happened. Like, I don't know, man. I've never been on a track before. I guess I got a little overexcited in the turn. But I mean, good on you guys for keeping up with the safety, communicating with everybody, and making sure everybody stays within their comfort zone, I guess. But it had me flustered. I think, though, my favorite part of track day was the skid pad. When everybody went out and did the media lap, which I didn't even know about, I just went straight to the skid pad because I wanted to at least get my turn before everybody lined up and started doing that. But no, the skid pad was an absolute blast. This thing was so fun on that. Nashville. So that was a great time. We actually weren't even supposed to be there. We left the track and just drove straight to Nashville from there. And I mean, we just kind of got lucky in that scenario that some of the friends we made along the way were willing to just kind of let us bum off of them and stay with them. But no, it was a great time. Definitely most memories were made that night in Nashville. I guess we got bottle service at one of the rooftop bars, which was something I've never done before, but it was so much fun. And then I ended up hanging out with Chad and Austin after that, and we ended up going back to our room, which Michael, he was another one of the media people, that he let us stay there with him, 'cause such a nice guy. But Chad wanted him to just kind of get up and hang out with us, and I felt so bad. But he ended up going into his room, and he had like some strobe thing on his phone and just shining that in his face, telling him to get up. And Michael, God bless him, he's such a good sport and handled that way better than I would have. But he just sent us on our way. So we went back down to the lobby where we ran into John, who had the other white R8, and he just had a pizza. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning in Nashville. He had a couple boxes of pizza, and we just kind of sat down there, unwound for the night, and just hung out. It was great. I loved it. My biggest takeaway, honestly, was just the people. I love being around everybody. And I mean, I know I was kind of shy with everyone. I didn't really talk to many people, but just hanging out with everybody, all like-minded people. We all love cars. We all love driving. Even though we all come from a different background and different points in our lives, we all kind of came together within the Faster Rally to just drive and appreciate cars and just have a good time. So that was my biggest takeaway from it, and hopefully the friendships and relationships I've made while on the rally I can carry over into the rest of this year and on to the next years. And it's been so much fun. I feel so blessed to be a part of something like this. And yeah, it just has me looking forward to next year.